Hey guys, Eric here from A1Athlete.com. Today, we're going to be talking about red light therapy for muscle recovery, and we'll talk about the best protocol that you can use as an athlete. So red light therapy is really good for improving blood flow in your muscles, which is super important, especially as an athlete. You're spending a lot of time training or doing games or things like that where you're really beating your muscles up. What that does is every single time you do that, your muscles have kind of like a recharge period, right? So what you want is those muscles to be recovered as quick as possible. You want those as close to 100% as possible for your next training session or for your next game. Red light therapy acts as a bit of a speed boost, so it enhances your muscle recovery. And something really cool about that too is it's completely painless. You don't feel anything with it. If you're anything like me, you've probably spent a lot of time foam rolling and icing your aches and pains, especially after a hard game. I've completely switched out my foam roller, tossed it in the garbage, and now I'm using just red light therapy because it's more effective and it feels good to do. In fact, you don't feel anything with it at all. Another really good thing about red light therapy for muscles is it actually improves your strength, the amount of muscle you can gain, and your muscular performance, which is a little bit mind-blowing to me, but the science is really cool about this. So this study took a group of men and put them through a 12-week training program. Half the men got red light therapy after every single training session. The other half did not. By the end of the study, what they found was that the group that did red light therapy after their training sessions increased their 1 rep max on the leg press by 55%, whereas the group that didn't have any red light therapy after their training sessions increased their 1 rep max by 26%. That's nearly double the gains. Red light therapy also increases markers in your body, certain systems that are going on in there that build muscle. So it improves them in a positive way, which just helps you put on mass a little bit quicker than without it. So one of the most surprising things about red light therapy, especially for muscle recovery, is how much it can improve your performance. A study found that red light therapy with a strength training program or an aerobic training program actually improves your performance by so much that they wanted to raise the question if red light therapy should even be allowed to be used by competitive athletes because of the edge that it gives them. The next big benefit of red light therapy is that it helps reduce inflammation and helps treat injuries. So if you have any sort of muscle strains, if you're feeling any swelling or anything like that, red light therapy actually acts to reduce that swelling and to help treat that muscle a lot quicker than by doing nothing with it. The problem with ice is that it can actually slow blood flow down, which is going to decrease that recovery time. Red light therapy does the opposite while getting rid of the inflammation at the same time. So how do you get your hands on these benefits? It's fairly straightforward. First things first, location. If you're trying to treat your biceps muscle and you're aiming your red light therapy at your quad muscle, you're not really going to get those benefits. You'll get those performance benefits in the quad, but your bicep is still going to be struggling with that injury. So make sure that wherever you're doing your red light therapy is exactly where you want that red light therapy to be. I'd also recommend trying to get a couple different angles on that muscle. For example, I use the Kinyon Move Plus, which is a wearable device. It has 3 separate modules on it, which allows me to kind of wrap around whatever muscle I'm trying to target. It gives you a little bit of a 360-degree treatment, which just targets the muscle a whole lot better than just using, for example, a red light tower that's just bringing red light on one direction. If you're dealing with an injury, I recommend doing red light therapy 5 to 7 times per week. You want a little bit more volume. You're still going to get the performance benefits if you do it a minimum of 3 times a week, but a little bit more is good to just help put your body into a constant healing state. You'll get most of those performance benefits if you do 5 to 10 minute sessions. So it's super quick. You can do it while you're warming up or cooling down. If you're using something like a handheld or a red light tower, treatment times are probably going to be a little bit longer, closer to that 20-minute time frame. And that's because with a wearable, you have direct skin contact. So those red light waves are coming directly into your skin and they're being absorbed. Whereas if you have that device a little bit further away, some of those red light waves bounce off, making the treatment less effective. So you need to spend more time actually doing it. Try doing red light therapy 1 to 3 times per day. Do it once if you're just looking for performance benefits or just using it for a recovery tool, but use it closer to 2 or 3 times if you're trying to treat an injury, again, just to get a little bit more volume into it. And it really doesn't matter if you use it before or after a workout. I personally like to use it after a workout just because it's a good way to kind of recover, cool down a little bit. Like I said, I don't foam roll anymore, so I've replaced a foam rolling time with red light therapy, and it just makes a really big difference, kind of quick and easy, and it's a good way to kind of reduce some of that inflammation if you are struggling with an injury but you still had to train. So again, using a wearable is probably my best recommendation. You just get that direct skin contact and you get kind of that 360-degree treatment, which is just going to make things a lot more effective, a lot quicker than using something like a tower or a handheld. If you want to dive deeper into anything we just talked about, all those benefits, everything is based on research and published studies. So if you do want to see more of that detail, click that link in the description. It'll bring you to our article where we break down every single benefit in much more depth, and that way you'll have an even better idea of how to use red light therapy for muscle recovery. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and we'll get back to you. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day and ever forward in becoming an A1 athlete.